Dennis Reynolds. Patty's Pub co-owner, self-proclaimed golden god, aspiring serial killer? On the surface, he's a narcissistical, egotistical pretty boy who thinks he's better than everyone. And honestly, he tries very hard to make that the case. But peel back that glossy, gelled up exterior, and you'll find something darker, something colder, something deeply disturbing. Today, I wanted to dive deep into the mind of one of the most terrifying characters in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. A character so unhinged, he makes Patrick Bateman look like a disgruntled barista. So without further ado, let's talk about why Dennis Reynolds is a full-blown psychopath and why we're kind of okay with it. So who is Dennis Reynolds, really? Played with unsettling perfection by Glenn Howerton, Dennis is Dee's twin brother, and arguably the brains of the gang. Though that's a bit like calling the tallest Jenga tower structurally sound. He fancies himself as sophisticated, suave, and highly intelligent. But in reality, he's a man hanging by the thinnest of psychological threads. He talks like a therapist, dresses like a Wall Street bro, and behaves like Ted Bundy in a very expensive sweater that his dad probably bought for him when he was super young. Also, when he says stuff like, "I am untethered and my rage knows no bounds," that might not be hyperbole, but his lifestyle. So let's get clinical with our boy here. Psychopathy includes traits like superficial charm, lack of empathy, manipulativeness, and a need for control. So basically, Dennis in literally every episode in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So let's break down some of these moments and see if Dennis qualifies for the trait we're attributing to him. Lack of empathy and emotional disconnect. In season 8, episode 3, Charlie Rules the World, Dennis becomes a god, literally, inside an MMORPG, and uses his newfound digital divinity to torment others. Why? Not for fun, but for dominance, which is a theme you're gonna see a lot of throughout the show. It's for power, for the high. It's his own little fucked up Black Mirror episode. In season 5, episode 10, The Dennis System, we finally see the crown jewel of Dennis's sociopathy, a step-by-step guide to luring women into bed and emotionally destroying them. In the episode, he literally says things like, you have to nurture dependence for you emotionally neglect them. And truth be told, the Dennis system is something that I follow very closely to pick up women. That is not true. Season 6, episode 3, The Implication. Perhaps Dennis's most famous monologue. He calmly explains that taking a woman out on the boat gives him power to do anything because of the implication. What is the implication in question? Well, the implication is that because they're surrounded by a body of water, there's no particular way for them to get out of that situation. They are not going to say no to his advances because of the implication. The implication being that if something had to go wrong, it would. And that's no good. It's bone-chilling, it's comedic, it's horrifying. The simple fact that that's a very real possibility in his mind is actually scary. And somehow we make a joke out of it. In season 12, episode 10, Human Skin Suit, yes, Dennis casually explains how he would make a skin suit out of women. Stay with me now. Stay with me. Silence of the Lambs. More like Silence of the Laugh track. Because the show just plays it out as a throwaway joke. Spoiler, it might not be. Surveillance and obsession in multiple episodes. Dennis is basically a stalker with a Range Rover. A stalker with a lot of money because his dad is super fucking rich. As for examples in season 7, episode 10, where he plants cameras, follows people, and engineers breakdowns with all the glee of a Bond villain with a sociology degree. The only difference would be that Bond villains usually lose, and even to them, there comes a point where they might think that they're in the wrong. Meanwhile, Dennis is out here acting like Jared Leto's Joker, thinking that everything he's doing is completely okay, just because he has good bone structure. What really makes Dennis unsettling is not the outburst. It's the control. The obsession with being perceived as perfect, as dominant, as untouchable. In season 11, episode 1, during Charlie McDennis, Dennis absolutely loses it over a board game. Not because he's competitive, but because someone dared to challenge his authority. This isn't about fun for him, it's about domination. And then we get to season 12, episode 10. Dennis finds out he has a child. His response? Stone cold. No Steve Austin. He doesn't say, I have a son. He says, I need to get the fuck out of here, which will be me in the future as a father. Parenthood doesn't awaken him. It offends him. He doesn't want a family. He wants to return to his twisted little kingdom and reign once more. At the end of the show, he only returns to his family not because something awakens in him and he wants to be a present and good father. No. It's because he wants to prove he's better than everyone else in the gang. Hell, he literally comes back just a few episodes later talking about how he abandoned his wife and kid with not a glimmer of sadness in his eyes. Same way how when Charlie told Dennis that his mom had cancer, he just didn't care. Like, this guy is just checking all the boxes for being an actual fucking sociopath. But why is that kind of okay? Why is a man who describes himself as a 5-star man and possibly a serial killer still one of our favorite characters? Because Always Sunny, at its core, is just a cartoon. It exists in a world where everyone is just a terrible human. There are no moral compasses, no heroes, just 5 deeply broken people who drag each other further into the abyss. Dennis isn't celebrated for his darkness. He's exposed by it. The show never explicitly says that it's fine. It's supposed to show us that this is actually very deranged. And we laugh. Not because we approve, but because the absurdity is too much to process in any other way. And let's be real, part of what makes Dennis Reynolds so interesting as a character is because we don't know where the line is, whether he is actually dangerous or not. Or is he just really, really thirsty for power? Is he a predator or just a poser with a sociopathic flair? The answer is yes. Dennis Reynolds isn't just a narcissist with great bone structure, he's a deeply disturbed character. Borderline sociopathic man who weaponizes charm, control, and casual insanity to keep everyone around him spinning in his orbit. His deep sense of control isn't fun, it's sad. Cause peel back the layers of this man trying to outwit everyone and you will genuinely find an emotionally broken man just trying to hold on to anyone who'd give him a little bit of attention because he just doesn't want to be alone. Or at least, that's what makes this character so special to me. And I think at the core, that's what makes Always Sunny so special to everyone. Because these characters are so human, because these characters are so deeply broken and disturbed, it gives us something to relate to. They're not perfect in any way, shape, or form. They're horrible human beings. But we can look at that and we can cheer because in a perfect world, we'll never be as bad as them. We've all met a Dennis Reynolds in my life. And that's why we laugh. We watch and we quote these 5 deeply deranged characters, because in the lawless wasteland of Patty's Pub, being a monster is just part of the gang's dynamic. Thank you so much for watching, indulging this with me. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I got a lot of criticism in my last video, so I wanted to change up the format a little bit and try to analyze a character from the show rather than just have a frame-by-frame analysis of an episode. And if you are wondering why I have an armrest here but not here, it's because my mom literally got this chair like out of like a junkyard and like it's literally falling apart. You want to see something funny? It's broken. Like, this is not funny. Like, this isn't like a recliner seat. It's dead ass just broken. The little wood thing in the back is is broken. Like that's like that, like I just have to deal with that. I have no back support. My back hurts. And I have to edit this video now. Thank you for watching. I will be starting an OnlyFans account when I hit 500 subscribers. So if you want to see my PNR, you know what to do.